Hey, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward. And in this video, you're going to get a little snippet from the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle video chat. For those of you who are not familiar with this, every single week on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle, I do an hour-long video coaching session where people can tune in live, and it's a small group of members only, where I answer their questions and kind of dive into specific challenges that they have with regards to their training, nutrition, and things like that. So in this video, what I'm going to cover is advanced strategies for isolating your weaker body parts. As an advanced lifter, can I focus more on isolation to bring up weaker points and do less compounds compared to a beginner? Yes, the more advanced you become in your training, the more you can specialize on what areas need the most work, and the more you can kind of back off on areas that are naturally strong for you. So I'll give you an example. As we develop our bodies, as you're going to the gym, I mean, you start off as a brand new lifter, you generally want to focus on a good, well-rounded, mass building workout, doing basic compound lifts, just getting bigger and stronger all over, and doing that over the course of several months, several years, build up your foundation. Once you've been doing that for a prolonged period of time, what you're going to find is certain areas develop better than others. For most people. I mean, there's a few genetic freaks out there who have perfect proportion where everything just develops in balance equally, right? I mean, there are a few people who are like that, but for the most of us, we're going to have body parts that may respond better. Some body parts are going to lag behind, and you're going to have everything in between. You're going to have some exceptionally good body parts, some okay body parts, and some body parts that suck, right? You'll see it a lot. So what you can do is, as you become more advanced, rather than simply keep trying to get bigger and stronger all over, you can prioritize your training. So, okay, my stronger areas, I'm going to back off and kind of do a maintenance workout for those. And then my stubborn areas that I'm having trouble to develop, I'm going to prioritize and do more emphasis on those. So you don't have to do a well-balanced workout where everything gets trained equally. You can customize your training to prioritize what you need to. So I'll give an example. In my case, through my years of bodybuilding training, I found my chest responded well, my back responded well, my legs, thighs, and calves. And it was to the point where actually in my early days, my thighs really responded well to training. And they actually outgrew my upper body. I had big thighs. And a lot of that I attribute to years of doing martial arts. Because with martial arts, I was doing Kung Fu. Shaolin Kung Fu is what I was studying. I did that for 5 years as a teenager, right? And when you do training as a teenager, and your body is in its prime, your metabolic and your anabolic hormones are in their prime, you can make a lot of fast progress at that stage because everything is working the way it's supposed to. Your hormones and your body and your recovery and everything else is optimized. So that's why you see teenagers who take up any sport or activity or weight training or anything else, they will make progress much faster than people who are in their 30s and 40s, right? Because they're in their prime for growth, and then combine that with strategic exercise or sport specific training, whatever, they can make a lot of progress. So I was studying Kung Fu and doing a lot of stretching, doing a lot of kicking exercises, and that helped to speed up the development of my legs. Right, my legs developed much faster. And in addition to that, we used to do a lot of push-ups as part of our training for our upper body. So I think that's what kind of gave my chest and legs a big head start. So when I started competing in bodybuilding, if you actually go back and look at some of my early bodybuilding pictures, I can probably dig some up for you. There's some in the book, Your First Bodybuilding Competition, if you want to check it out. But in there, you can see my lower body was much bigger than my upper body. My arms and shoulders lagged behind. They were my weakest body parts. And so probably legs were strongest, chest and back were next, arms and shoulders were the weakest. So as I got more experienced, I did less training for the legs, a little bit less training for the chest and back, and I kind of prioritized arms and shoulders. And I even went through a training phase, like leading up to 2007 is when I won my first and only bodybuilding competition. I won our local provincial championships that year. And in my training for that event, I was training my arms twice a week, and I was training all my other body parts only once a week. So I was prioritizing my arms to try and build them up in proportion to my stronger body parts. And you can do the same thing yourself. So if you have a weak, stubborn body part, you can prioritize it either by doing extra workouts for it, by doubling up your training in the gym, and for your stronger body parts, put them on a maintenance phase. Right? There's nothing wrong with doing that. You have to customize your training according to what you need for your specific body type. But again, for beginners, they're not at a stage where they're ready for isolation and specialization. You need to lay a foundation first. Once you have the foundation laid, then you can worry about fixing the flaws with that foundation in terms of isolating your weaker body parts and then backing off on your stronger body parts. But one thing that I would like to emphasize here, don't neglect your stronger body parts entirely. This is a mistake because sometimes people who have a particularly strong body part, let's say, legs, chest, back, whatever it is, if you stop training that body part entirely and do so over a prolonged period of time, it will, get weaker. And I mean, you may still have a lot of mass or a decent level of mass in that area, but it will get weaker. I mean, you'll see that in some cases. So I still recommend doing a maintenance training for all your body parts. You don't want to let anything get to the point where it's going downhill and moving back. But you can prioritize the weaker ones to help speed up and emphasize growth in those areas. And if you'd like to get some more information about the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle Coaching Club, just visit totalfitnessbodybuilding.com. As a member, you'll get access to my very best muscle building and fat loss programs, as well as the workout of the month, personalized meal plans, access to our private members-only discussion forum, and you'll be able to chat with me live through our weekly video chats. To try it out for yourself risk-free, just register now over at totalfitnessbodybuilding.com.